actively recording. Okay, it's puzzle time. I'm using 3 books and a giant jar of Johnny Salt to prop my phone so it aims the camera just the right way. Okay, today's topic, very challenging, and I'm trying to do something physically active while talking to the camera instead of just aiming the camera at like a pillow, which I did in a couple of videos. I'm doing a puzzle. So today's conversation topic, I think, should be it appeared in my Facebook memories today of a time when I went to see a Pixar movie. I saw Brave in theaters, and I shared on my Facebook when Brave came out in theaters, my experience, you know, in a movie theater with other people. And there's this woman, maybe 4 or 5 years older than me at the time, sitting one row in front of me with 2 kids under 5, and her kids are so quiet during the movie. They were well behaved. They were not screaming, not crying, not getting up to wander away. They were very well behaved. They used whisper voices a few times to their mom during the movie. They were just very well-behaved kids. Maybe 2 girls, or was it a boy and a girl? I can't remember exactly, but they were really, really well-behaved, and it was amazing. So on that note, when the end credits started rolling, I complimented the mom. Told her her kids were so well behaved that I couldn't remember the last time I saw so many well behaved kids in the movie theater. She was taken aback, but she thanked me for that, and we chatted a little bit. I remember she was nice. So in today's topic, I'm going to discuss a few times, maybe in 2 or 3 videos, the times I have witnessed children running wild or disobeying common sense, lack of caring about other people and the environment, etc., etc. And the times that, you know, I intervened and said, you go sit down right now and you don't get up until it's time to leave. And a few times that I didn't get to say that. But we'll discuss that one later. When I was, I don't know, 7th grade, 8th grade, my mom and my sister and I went out to our local Mexican restaurant for dinner. Might have been a Wednesday, might have been a Thursday. It was a school night. I had my homework with me. And there was it wasn't very busy at the restaurant. We went a little bit later, not during the dinner rush, but after the dinner rush. And there was a little boy just kind of leaving his parents' booth in the restaurant, and at one point he was crawling on the carpeted floor of the restaurant. And he wasn't 2, he was like 6 or 7 or 8. I think he was like wearing a Little League baseball or t-ball uniform, so He was probably like 5 to 8 years old. And at one point, he was crawling under our table looking for crayons. Maybe he had a disability and he didn't understand to do that, or his parents simply did not give a shit, which they really didn't. I can't remember if it was me who took the kid back to his table or if it was my mom. My sister didn't know what to do. I think it was my mom. And my mom just, I think she gave a good ear licking to the parents of that kid who was just crawling around on the restaurant carpet floor looking for crayons under tables. And she gave them the riot, my mom gave them the riot act over their lack of parenting, so to speak. You know, there were times that I just was like, Mom, don't do that. A lot of situations, a lot of places. But, that was necessary. Another time was, I was on the 15, going from home in Ballard down to downtown, I guess. I don't know, it was summertime. And it was before Rapid Ride was a thing, so it was when the 15 was still the 15. I'm talking buses, mass transit, public transportation, Seattle, King County Metro. And the 15 was going down 15th, and it was approaching the center merging lane to go up the hill on Mercer. And there was this little boy with his grandma, maybe early 60s she was, and this little boy was like 5 or 6. And he was running up and down the aisle of the bus, constantly getting up, and his grandma was just meekly saying, "Come sit down, come sit down, please don't leave, don't get up." At one point, I was sitting on the inside, the sideways seats, the ones that were kind of raised up on a step. And at one point, when that little boy was running or trying to get away from his grandma because he liked the idea of instigating her, I stopped my body in front of that little boy, and I just very sternly said to him for the whole world to hear, "You sit down right now and don't move until you get off this bus. You go sit with your grandma. Go." And that boy, his facial expression changed from I am manipulating to his grandma in the environment to suddenly just, holy shit, someone told me what to do, so I'm gonna listen. That was intense. But it worked. That kid sat down with his grandma, stopped running around, stopped trying to get up on the bus, and moved on. And didn't stand up again until it was time for them to get off the bus. And the grandma thanked me, and I said, "You just gotta show him who's boss, and this is a bus, not a playground." You gotta remind him that. Because sometimes I have seen many, many people with their kids on buses not giving a shit that the bus is not a playground. The kids don't care. They think the bus is a playground. And then the parents just would never care to correct their kids and say, "Hey, this is not a playground. Stop running around. This is a bus. It's like a car. You sit down during your time on it." And that has definitely occurred many times in my lifetime. And I'll just say one more story of that. It was a hot day in Ballard. There was some public art festival going on, or some non-profit local festival where a street was closed, and there were booths and tents and vendors and whatnot, and Metro got involved in that non-profit event or something, and they brought a bus, a rapid ride bus. I think this was right before the rapid ride took over the 15 and got the D-line. And it was a hot day, maybe 100 degrees that day, and so the bus had its engine turned on and the air conditioning turned on and all 3 doors open so people could be at the event but have somewhere to sit where it was cool in the shade with AC. And they it doesn't fit. About over here. Nope. 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 I can't find the spot for this piece. Drive me insane. And so I had a book with me, and I was enjoying that air-conditioned bus, and I sat down, and then this woman she was maybe mid-30s, with 2 girls. One was definitely her daughter, the other was most likely her kid's friend. They were maybe 8 or 9 years old. And I guess they had never really been on a bus before, because they saw all these poles, they saw the seats, they saw all the handrails, the ones that you lift your arm above your head and hold on to the handrails when it's standing room only. And they saw all these handrails, and they thought they could just climb and walk on the seats and try to monkey around. And they only got about like 10 seconds in before I lowered my book from my face, and I just threw the harshest daggers with my face at the mom. And I took one look at her and her kids, and I just simply said, or sternly said something along the lines of, "Excuse you, this is a bus, not a playground. People sit on these seats when they have to go places. It's like a car. Do you put your feet all over the inside of your car? No. Sit down or get off the bus." And let me tell you, that mom she wasn't mad at me about it. She realized that, I was in the right and she was in the wrong, and her kids were definitely misbehaving right in front of her. Literally 1 foot away from her. I think she wanted the air conditioning, but the girls just wanted to play around, fool around. But, they didn't get that chance. Thank you. And, she quickly apologized to me, and the girls, said sorry very meekly, like they didn't mean it. But they knew they were caught in a lie, or like hands in the cookie jar or something. There are other stories, other times that I have intervened, because when you take your kid out in public, it's your job to make sure your kid acts correctly for the environment that you're in. But, if your kid is misbehaving and you're not caring, and your kid is treating someplace like a playground when there's no physical playground in that place, then, you know, it's no longer doable at that point. And you just gotta realize, oh, I fucked up. I forgot to tell my kid how to behave in a restaurant, or how to behave on a bus, public transportation, or at a movie theater. I remember I saw Deadpool, rated R, and then there was this guy with his kid, like an 8-year-old boy, in the seats behind me. And this kid kept on putting his feet on my seat. And because obviously his feet couldn't reach the ground yet. And I turned around and glared once or twice. And then a third time I literally said to the kid and the dad, "Get your feet off my seat." And the dad was like kind of embarrassed. No, you shouldn't be embarrassed that your kid keeps on violating someone else's space. You should be embarrassed that you took your 8-year-old to see Deadpool in a movie theater. See, there's a difference. And people, don't take your kids to rated R movies if they're not old enough to understand the context of everything. And when I say old enough to understand the context, there are scenes of raw sex in Deadpool. And your 8-year-old kid saw that, and I think that dad covered his kid's eyes. Well, you know what? Go see Deadpool on your own time, or wait until DVD. That's my recommendation. Don't take your kids to see rated R movies. Especially if you plan on, like, putting your hand over their eyes during the sex scenes. They're obviously too young to understand majority of the adult thematic language and context and storylines. My God. And I think I actually said a 4th time to that kid and that dad, move your feet off my seat, or maybe I cursed at him, I don't know. But he was more embarrassed for his kid's behavior rather than for taking an 8-year-old to see Deadpool. Oh yeah, major fuck up there. Okay, well, obviously, talking to the camera and trying to put a puzzle together is not working in my favor, so I'm going to shut it down now and get back to my puzzle. Okie dokie. Thank you for listening, everyone. Bye-bye.